Hi, this is Glenda, and today I will be making roses like these ones out of soap dough. The soap dough recipe that I'm using is from Sorcery Soaps, and I believe it's from the second book, and if I remember correctly, it's recipe number 5. Now, because I added some purple to this mix, and purple has been giving me issues, it's a little bit sticky or stickier than usual, and I added purple just because I wanted to get a darker red, but I'm gonna need more than this though. I only do one petal at a time so that it stays sticky, and I usually just keep the rest covered with my hand so it doesn't get too dry. And what I did is that I took one piece and I just started flattening it with my fingers. I'm not really concerned about what shape it has. However, if you want to shoot for an oval shape, that's probably the best shape to start with, because it has one top and then it has lower ends. Okay, so I'm probably going to use the short end to do the initial petal. And what I'm going to do is that, see, I have it thin like this, and then I'm going to start bending the ends, the edges, so it sort of looks like a taco or a flauta, if you think of it. And this will be the core petal. Now, with my fingers and very gently, I'm pressing on the edges of it to simulate better the way rose petals look. And then the end, I'm going to press, because this is the part that's going to go into the soap. Now onto the next petal. So I grab another piece and I just squeeze it and make it flat. You could do this with a roller if you wanted, and you could cut shapes with an oval cutter if you wanted to be exact. I do have a video on how to make roses with polymer clay, so you could follow a very similar process to that one too. But this time I'm going more for what they call organic look, which I'm not sure what it means, but I've seen it. It's not organic in the sense of fruits and vegetables that are pesticide free, but when you hear that word used in artistic terms, it usually, the context in which I've seen it is when they don't have a plan and they just go with the flow kind of thing. But pretty much I'm just making one petal at a time. I don't recommend making them all at the same time, because I think it will dry too much and then it will be hard for it to stick to itself. So when I put the third petal, I'm gonna put it in a way that it covers part of the second petal, like this. It sort of hugs it, it comes around it. And if you see, it's taller, but because I'm going to bend the edge backwards, then it's gonna end up being around the same height. But in reality, you do want each additional petal to be slightly higher, because that's usually the way it looks, I think, if you have a rose. The center being smaller, or maybe not. And anyway, this is the way I've always made roses, and I've been pleased with the effects. So I made a bowl, and then again I'm doing it, just making it flat. So the next petals will probably be more on the horizontal side, because the rose is getting bigger. Petals, I'm putting them will need this way. The oval is a bigger vertical position, a wider petal, and I put it where so that it overlaps slightly. And I think that is the way it looks in nature too. The outer petals tend to be larger than the ones inside, or maybe they just appear larger because they're more extended, versus the ones in the closer to the core are still folded into each other. Okay, so this one might be too big, but it will still work. So I put it so that it hugs the rose, and again I bent the outer edge. And at this point I think I just need 2 more petals. I don't want the rose to be too big because I want it to be just about the thickness of the bar of soap that is going to be sitting on. If I make it too big, then I'm going to have to cut into it when I cut the bars. So this one, instead of putting it like this, I'm going to go like that. And I followed the same rule of overlapping it slightly on the one edge. And if at the first time you do one, you're not happy with the results, keep trying. I've done many roses out of polymer clay first, and my first one was not very good. And actually, when I started making soap, before I discovered soap dough, I made rose petals. I thought they were rose petals to put on top of the soap, and I just made them out of soap that I cut into oval shapes when it was still soft. And what do you know, it didn't look like rose petals, they look like salami or pepperoni strips. Okay, so this is my rose. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted, but that's fine. And this is what it looks like at the bottom. So I'm going to start just squeezing it, pressing it, making sure it sticks together. And this part is the one that's going to go into the soap. So it's going to look like this. I hope you like this video. And if you want to see when I post the next one, go ahead and subscribe and sign up for the notifications to get them. Thank you for watching.